Good morning, everybody. Ignore any messy room stuff. We're about to go on a little backpacking trip, which means Paul hopefully won't deteriorate too far while we're gone. We're going to the Timberline Trail up around Mount Hood this time around. Not really sure how long it's going to take us. It's either going to be 2 days, 3 days, 1 night, 2 nights. Really depends on how fast we move. Here's our track. We'll start kind of down south. Use the maps. This area, Timberline Lodge, will go clockwise around the mountain. Clockwise around the mountain. Again, still pretty early. Let's get going. Alrighty, it is just past 8, honestly a little bit later than I wanted to get started. It's in the 30s, it's very cold right now, and we're gonna get started. Timberline Lodge just down the hill a little bit, and the trail heading clockwise from the south side of the mountain going this way. We'll see how this goes. It's very cold. Back in September? Gosh, I don't know time this year. There was the massive windstorm here in Oregon that kind of created the terrible fires that we had. I know up at Timberline they were having legitimate hurricane force winds. And so as a result, I think we're gonna see a lot of this on trail. Just fallen trees all over the place. Already passed a ton. This is the first one that really kind of blocks the trail, but I expect it's going to be interesting trying to get through some of these downfalls. This one is maybe 50 feet past the last. Looks a little hairy. Let's see. Can we get through? Maybe a little tunnel here. Oh no. This is what my day is going to be. Or my weekend, I guess. Hop over this log. It is an absolutely gorgeous mid-October Saturday day to go backpacking. Sure, it might be cold, but it is not snowy yet. I'll knock on wood as I walk past a tree there. But it is clear blue skies. The mountain is beautiful. There's probably not going to be a single soul on trail today. I mean, you can't beat that. Perfect. I hope you're ready for an incredibly epic view as we come up here onto the ridge above Zigzag Canyon. So we get the pleasure of climbing down into that a little ways further down. This will be about a 700-foot climb in and then out, but this is the real beauty. Oh, absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, perfect day, and oh my God, peeking above the clouds, like the lonely mountain itself, Mount Jefferson, and it looks just as stunning. This was a good decision to come up here. Now we get to climb a couple hundred feet out of the canyon, and we'll see how we feel. Basically, we have a climb up now for a while, and then we'll drop back down to cross the Sandy River, which I think will be a little bit more difficult, typically a bigger river. And then we climb for probably the rest of the day. So this is where it's going to start to get tiring. The easy part's over, and we'll see how far we're able to make it, but it should be interesting. Kind of nearing the top of this bit of the climb. We'll go still up a little bit more, but it flattens out a bit, a little bit of downhill, and then we'll eventually get ourselves towards that Sandy River Canyon, which will be interesting, but feeling good so far. Very peak of Mount Adams is barely visible center there, obscured a little bit by those clouds. It's like 11:15? Yeah, 11:15 on the dot. Feeling pretty good, but I've been climbing down for a bit. I'm gonna take a break, let my ankles rest up. They're feeling it a bit. This is like gosh, I feel like I read it right, that it was like 2,000 feet down, and then I gotta go like over 1,000 feet back up after we cross the Sandy, but I've had some views of it, and they're pretty cool. I think that we'll do the Ramona Falls alternate here in a couple of miles, so that should be pretty cool. I've never been there. Pretty excited to see it. And short little break here, have a little snack, and I get this view in the meantime. sandy. Oh, a lot of down trees right before. We'll see how crossing this is. It is probably going to be one of the more difficult crossings. You can see obviously during a high season, all this where I'm walking through gets water. It can be a pretty daunting crossing, I think, in terms of distance, but I don't think it'll be too bad. It is moving very fast. Oh, that's a cool mountain. So we got to find a place to cross, and then we got to find some cairns or something that mark where the trail goes up. So I don't think that's typically very easy to find. Well, it took me a little bit longer than I had hoped, but I really didn't want to get wet. So we started kind of where the middle of the screen is and just worked our way up along the river bank until we found a spot we can make a couple of jumps. I'm glad that's over. I don't think it's too far to Ramona Falls, and then we're gonna take a little lunch break because we're just past noon now. If you're wondering where the trail is, you'd be just like me. Apparently, on this Ramona Falls alternate, maybe on the standard PCT as well, every single tree in this forest has fallen down. Every single one. It's been at least half an hour of me going over and under and over and under every single log. I went from hiking probably close to 3 miles an hour to maybe half a mile an hour right now. It's more tiring. I don't see an end in sight. I don't know how far it is until this will end. So I was really hoping that this would be maybe just an overnighter that would get 20 miles in today and 20 miles in tomorrow, but we're gonna be struggling for a while here. I just hope it lets up soon. This is really gonna piss me off, but I think I have to make a decision. It literally, the trail's like, it's even worse here. I don't understand how it could be. But I gotta make a decision whether I keep going through this and potentially spend the rest of the day maybe getting another mile, or if I turn back. And I really don't want to turn back. I want to do this trail, but it's gonna take God knows how long to get through this, and it literally, it looks like it's every single tree here. Like, they're all fucked. So I think I have to call it. I think I have to turn back before it gets worse. So, I mean, like I was just saying, I wanted it to be an overnighter, and it seems I've got my wish. Not how I wanted it to happen, but it is what it is, I guess. So we're gonna go downhill for quite a while. It's probably gonna take me an hour, I got to imagine, to get back through everything that I already slogged my way through. And then I don't know. We'll see how far I can make it. It's 2:03 in the afternoon, so I have maybe 4 more hours of daylight. If I'm in the trees, probably closer to 3. So I think we total made it. I don't even want to know. Probably 12 miles in, but it's just too many down trees right now. Disappointed, to say the least. But I'm gonna start grinding my way back through this, and we'll see if we have an update when we get to the other side. It's been a full hour since I was in those trees and turned around. When I turned back, I lost the trail somehow. And it's literally taken me until now to finally get back on it, which means I can make some progress and I'll be fine. That is literally the first time in the woods that I have ever been any kind of lost. I am grateful that literally I just bought this inReach, because it is the reason I knew the general direction to go. That GPS signal was clutch. This day turned sour pretty quick. The good news is, it's not going to be a ridiculous trip home. It's not like I got stuck 3/4 of the way through. You know, I'm about a quarter, maybe just over that. So I'm going to try to get somewhere, maybe with cell service, just so I can touch base with some people. But otherwise, we're just gonna start heading back, and we'll go for a while. I mean, it's 3 o'clock now, so we have a few hours of daylight still. The closer we get back to Timberline, the sooner we can dip. I'm almost back to Ramona Falls, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm tempted to either try to hitchhike out or be like, hey mom, save me. Oh, my legs hurt so bad. I had to crawl, army crawl, climb. I fell, I slipped. I got attacked by thorny bushes. I bent my trekking pole, one of them. So many things went wrong. I have like no energy. I mean, you can see the camera slowly getting lower. I can hardly hold my arm up. My knees and my ankles and my feet and whatever the back of the knee is all hurt. Whereas like I was feeling maybe a little bit tired, but not this painful when I showed up at the log jam. So sometimes I feel like you gotta know when to call it, but we'll see. I'm gonna sit down and take a breather at Ramona Falls again. And if somebody shows up, I might ask where they're headed. But I don't know. I'll let you know. So I've called in the backup, seeing if somebody could come pick me up at this trailhead at the Ramona Falls one, and we're almost there now. I don't know if it'll be tonight or tomorrow morning. We're prepared to camp. I'm having a hard time moving at this point. It's pretty rough. There's the Sandy River again. It's just been kind of going alongside it for a while. Even this trail to this trailhead is just full of downed logs. There's a few here and there. Sorry, that's way out of focus. There's there we go. A few here and there that are cut, which is a godsend. But overall, it is my least favorite backpacking / hiking experience ever, without a doubt. This has just been a struggle fest. The day started so promising, and now look where we are. So it's been a couple days now since our failed attempt to circumnavigate Mount Hood via the Timberline Trail. And while I did end up calling in a ride back from the Ruana Falls Trailhead to Timberline Lodge, I want to reiterate, it wasn't like I was in some sort of danger. I did it purely because it was convenient. I was prepared to camp. I was ready to camp. But, you know, a couple takeaways from the trip. I can be relatively confident in my decision making under a relatively high stress situation. You know, first time I've like ever been lost. You know, had a few moments where it could have been a little overwhelming, but I just, you know, I had the tools and I had the knowledge to know where I was on the mountain and know, you know, what would happen if this happened or that happened. So never really had a need to panic, so I didn't, which is something that's good for me to know personally. And so at the end of the day, while the trip was unsuccessful, I think that I have learned some valuable lessons for myself and in solo trips and backpacking in general. Excited to see what happens next. Would like to upload more videos, hopefully of successful trips, more frequently on this channel. However, it is basically the end of October, so not sure how often I'll get the opportunity to get out in the woods. But you know, I always seem to feel the urge to go backpacking in these colder months, usually because I'm cooped up inside more often. But there's maybe a chance I, you know, subject myself to some freezing temperatures and some cold torture. So if you like the video, feel free to like it, and if you want to see some more hopefully successful trips, feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and wherever you are, have a good night or have a good morning, and we'll see you later. Adios.